What's up, everybody? Back with another deck profile. What do we got for you today? Infernoids. Now, I just got this deck not like 20 minutes ago. I don't know, I don't really know anything about this deck, but I did a little research, and this deck is supposed to be, you're supposed to banish the little guys to obviously summon the big guys. They're all special summon monsters. I threw my own twists in it. I put the Dino engine in this. So, let's get started. The big guys, I couldn't tell you their names, but I'll try. Onkui, or Onku, I don't know. They all must be special summoned from the hand or the grave. For this guy, you banish 3 infernoid monsters from your hand or grave, while the total levels or ranks of all effect monsters you control are level 8 or lower. When this card is specialed, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell or trap or effect is activated, you contribute a monster and negate the activation if you do banish that card. He acts like a jurrassic. He wipes all monsters. This next guy acts like a Sacred Phoenix. And they all do something on your opponent's turn. You also need to banish 3 infernoids from your hand or grave. But when he is specialed, he destroys all spells and traps on the field except void cards once per turn. When a monster effect is activated, you contribute a monster, negate it, and banish that card. Cydamus. You banish 2 infernoids for this guy. If he attacks an opponent's monster, this effect activates during the end of the battle phase. You can banish a card on the field. During your opponent's turn, during either player's turn, you can tribute a monster, then target 1 card in your opponent's grave and banish it. A lot of these names I'm not going to be able to pronounce. It takes 2 infernoid. You banish 2 infernoids with this guy as well. When he destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to grave, this card can make a second attack in a row. During either player's turn, you contribute a monster, then target 1 card in your opponent's grave and banish it. Okay. What this guy does, you need 2 infernoids, banish 2 infernoids with this guy as well. When this card declares an attack, you go banish 1 monster from your opponent's extra deck, their choice. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can target a card in your opponent's grave and banish it. They all seem to have that last part, banishing cards from your opponent's grave, in common. Now, as far as the Dino engine, obviously, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. You can also use Petite Ranodons, obviously, with this. I wouldn't suggest running too many more high-level monsters. The 1800 attack. What he does, you banish 1 infernoid for him. Once per turn, you can target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it. This card cannot attack. You use this effect during your opponent's turn. You contribute a monster, then target 1 card in your opponent's grave and banish it. What he does, you also banish 1 infernoid for him. Once per turn, you can target a monster on the field, destroy it. You can't attack when you activate this effect. He does the same thing as the rest of them. Banishes a card in your opponent's grave. this card is normal or special, you can send an infernoid monster from your deck to grave, except this guy. If you do, increase this card's level by the level of the said monster, and if you do that, this card's name becomes that monster's and replace this effect with that monster's original effects. So he's like a foolish burial. My suggestion is run 2 of each of these guys. What he does is you banish 1 infernoid for him. Target once per turn. You can target a face-up card your opponent controls for return to the hand, and then it just banishes monsters. So this guy acts like a compulse. This guy, Pyramaias. Once per turn, you can target a set card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. Your opponent that card cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. Which means I'd run 2 or 3 of this guy, because he targets your opponent's set cards. Obviously, Soul Eating Naviraptor, if you're running the Dino Engine, and Giant Rex. It's good for Exceed Summon. Double Evolution Pills. Since you'll want to run non-dinos, or whatever, these would be helpful to get your Ultimate Conductor out a lot faster. Polymerization, Fusion deck, obviously. Void Seer. I'd say run 2 of this, 2 or 3. You target an infernoid monster you control. That target is unaffected by your opponent's card effects this turn. If an infernoid monsters you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your grid instead of destroying one of those monsters. Pretty much, it acts like a Return of the Dragon Lords. So I'd suggest run about 2 or 3. Just 2, just to like avoid high deck size. Void Imagination. What it does is, infernoid monsters you control, whose original levels are 2 or higher, become level 1, and all battle damage they inflict to your opponent is halved. You can send this card to grave, fusion summon an infernoid fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or your field as fusion material. If your opponent controls a monster that will special summon from the extra deck, and you do not, you can also use up to 6 monsters in your fusion deck, or in your deck, as fusion material. Pretty much this card lets you fusion summon. It's just another polymerization, basically. Void Vanishment. What it does is you can discard a card, add 1 void spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except Void, Vanishment, or Null and Void. Also, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except infernoid monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. If an infernoid monster you control battles an opponent's monster after damage calculation, you could send this card to the grave, banish those monsters. Pretty much, whenever your infernoids do battle, it banishes the monsters that did battle with them. You can even use this to get Void Trap Hole. Void Feast. I'd say 2 or 3 of these would be cool. Would be good. You can send a Void spell or trap from your hand or face up from your field to the grave. Special up to 3 infernoid monsters from your deck whose total levels exactly equal 8, ignoring their summoning conditions. This is kind of like the trap version of Double Evolution, though. And then Breakthrough, because, you know, your one big guy is like a Sacred Phoenix that wipes out spells and traps. So, what better way to take advantage of that than Breakthrough skill? Okay. Infernoid Tiara. There's a few different effects you get. You apply, when this card is fusion, someone apply these effects in sequence, depending on the number of fusion materials with different names used for this card's fusion summon. 3 or more, each player sends 3 cards from their extra deck to the grave. 5 or more, each player sends the top 3 cards from their deck to grave. 8 or more, each player returns up to 3 of their banished cards to the grave. 10 or more, each player sends their entire hand to the grave. The other card you can also run in this deck, and I probably won't run it, Raiden of the Lightsworn. It just helps you get your infernoids out quicker and stuff. And then Entity, Netis, or whatever. You don't use polymerization for this. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand. If this card is sent to the grave, you can target 1 card on the field to destroy it. So, you can just sit on this bitch, and it acts like a double summon once per turn. And if it's sent to grave, it destroys your opponent's monster. So, that's it for Infernoids. Hit like or subscribe. I also have a Dark Magician deck that I will probably be debuting when it's done. Catch you on the flip side.